I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, and welcome to our podcast, For the Health of It, episode 27. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well.
The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Are you suffering needlessly? Dr. Joe can give you advice on how to naturally get well and stay well. Dr. Joe Esposito.
What we're talking about today is a question I get all the time in my offices. And the question is, should I really eat organic foods? Now, if you've listened to my shows before, you know I'm a big fan of eating a lot of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and staying away from what I call the 7 deadly sins of nutrition. And I'll cover those in a little bit. But is it really worth organic? Because people say, well, Dr. Joe, organic is more expensive. And I said, yeah, I know, I hear that too. But in the real world, if you're doing everything right, you're going to save a ton of money by eating the right foods. And we're going to explain to you why. The answer is maybe. I know it's a little vague answer there. Got to keep you hanging. It's called the tease in the business. But we got to decide, is it worth it? And what's the payoff versus the cost? And what other options do I have? But let me discuss this for you. 30 in a row. There's something called the Dirty Dozen. It's put out by the Environmental Working Group. And they talk about the fruits and vegetables that have the most amount of pesticides and the ones that have the least amount of pesticides when they're tested. But pesticides is just going to be one of the things we talk about today. It's a biggie, but we're also going to talk about nutritional value, organic versus non-organic, and the best bang for your buck. Because as a chiropractor, as a nutritionist, as a pain management expert, my goal is always try to get you well as quick as possible for the least amount of money. So how are you going to get the best bang for your buck? So, 30 in a row, strawberries top the list of the Dirty Dozen. And that's from the Environmental Working Group. Published each year since 2004, ranks the most popular fruits and vegetables with pesticide residue. Group found that 1/3 of all conventional non-organic strawberry samples contain 10 or more pesticides. That's a lot of pesticides. One sample of strawberries found an astounding 22 pesticides. Now, here's the thing with pesticides. They might test them, and they'll say, okay, well, this one is safe at this level, and this one is safe at this level, and this one is safe at this level. But nobody has tested 22 combined pesticides. And then you have to look at who's getting exposed. Is it somebody who has a weakened immune system? Is it a child? Is it an elderly person? Is it somebody who's a football player who has a strong immune system? They're basically just saying across the board, this pesticide is safe at this level. But not everybody's the same. If I have a headache, I might respond well to, 300 milligrams of ibuprofen. You might need to take 1,000. So it's not a fair assessment, and I don't know if it would be practical, although I think it should be done, to measure all the pesticides and the interactions with each other. So the safest thing to do is assume the worst when it comes to things like this. Environmental Working Group emphasizes studies show that pesticides in high concentration can lead to health problems, especially in young people. So you have a kid, and that kid, you want him to eat healthy, so you buy him strawberries. And you take the strawberries and you feed them to the kid, and the kid loves them, and he eats them up, and you put them in a smoothie, and you give them to him cooked, and you give them to him in strawberry pie, and you give them to him raw. That's all well and good, but they're going to have a bigger reaction than I might, or that you might. So please understand that there's variance here. So let's talk about the Dirty Dozen, the worst fruits and vegetables that you can buy from a pesticide standpoint. But again, that's not the only thing we're worried about. Strawberries, spinach, nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celery, potatoes, and sweet bell peppers. And if you just look up the Dirty Dozen, they'll come up probably the movie first, and then you'll get the list of fruits and vegetables. You can wash them. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. You can wash your fruits and vegetables. And if you use they have these vegetable sprays, these vegetable additives you can put into water to dissolve some of the toxic pesticides. They work pretty well. You can also use apple cider vinegar. If you use about a gallon of water, maybe a third of a cup, a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, use that. That'll work too. And if you've heard my shows before, I'm a big fan of raw organic apple cider vinegar. I don't like the way it tastes, but it's extremely healthy for you. Helps your digestive system. It helps alkalize your system. Most of us are too acidic. We eat the 7 deadly sins: alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. And that puts the body in a state of acidosis, not total acidosis, but a more acid state. The body doesn't like being in an acid state. It likes being in a more alkaline state. So it helps alkalize the system. Even though it's vinegar, apple cider vinegar becomes alkaline when it's digested. It's what's called an ash. An ash is what's left over. Like you burn wood, what's left is an ash. So the apple cider vinegar ash is alkaline. Other vinegar ash is acidic. So you got to be careful. It's got to be raw organic apple cider vinegar if you're going to use it. So we want to alkalize the system. And you can use that to help get some of the pesticides off the top of it or off the outside, but it still can be on the inside. It's vitally important people eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Also wise to make dietary exposure to toxic pesticides important, especially with children. So you can reduce the amount that you get. Now, studies have shown that technically the pesticide residues that are there are within normal levels or within safe levels, they say. It's called GRAS, generally recognized as safe. But that doesn't mean they don't test for accumulation. They don't test for cumulative reactions or accumulation that builds up in your body. So if you're building up these toxic pesticides in your body over time, it becomes a problem. And there's no biological benefit to weed killer in the human body. So even a little bit can cause problems. Environmental Working Group has released a companion list of 15 foods with the lowest level of pesticides from federal testing. The list includes what they call the Clean 15. Avocados, sweet corn. I take exception to that. Even though it may have lower levels of pesticides, almost all, if not all, the sweet corn, especially in the United States, is genetically modified. And if you don't know what GMO means, you may have heard the word GMO. It means genetically modified organisms. So GMO foods alter the DNA that's found in this case, the corn. And two things happen essentially when we genetically modify the food. Number one is it produces its own pesticides internally. And so now what's happening is the corn is producing pesticides. So we don't have to spray it on there. And when the bugs eat it, it'll kill the bugs. Second thing it can do is sterilize the bugs. The bugs can eat it, not be able to make bug babies. Well, that becomes a problem too, because as you eat it, it can affect your reproductive abilities. Now, there are studies out and reports out that farmers have fed their animals genetically modified food over a while. They have trouble making babies. That's Family Show. I'm trying to keep it clean. So they have trouble making babies. So what do we have to do? Get them off the genetically modified foods. So even though sweet corn may have a lower sprayed on amount, I'm not happy with the fact it's probably a GMO. Other foods that meet the Clean 15, pineapples, cabbages, onions, sweet peas, and they put on the list frozen sweet peas. Why frozen and not fresh? Got me on that one. Papayas, asparagus, mangoes, eggplant, honeydew melons, kiwis, cantaloupes, cauliflower, and broccoli are also very low in pesticide residue. Good stuff. So if we're looking strictly at pesticides, you want to go with the Clean 15. Now, that being said, I don't eat animal products. I haven't had an animal product in over 32 years. One of the problems we have, one of the many problems I have with animal products, is most commercial animals are fed these genetically modified foods or the foods that are sprayed like corn and soy, and they'll spray it with these chemicals. The cows, the pigs, the chickens will eat these chemicals, and the chemicals can build up in their fat cells. What do you eat when you eat the animal? The fat cell. So that's another problem we have to worry about. So one of the many reasons I don't eat animal products is because of pesticide residue. If you're going to eat animal products, I recommend organic only. So as we talk about, is organic worth it? When it comes to animal products, my opinion is absolutely positively yes, it's absolutely worth it. So I recommend doing, if you're going to do animal products, organic only or don't eat them. Because let's assume you eat something that's sprayed with pesticide. You eat strawberries, okay? A little bit of pesticide gets into your body. If you're eating the animal that ate the foods that are sprayed with pesticides, you're eating the concentration of those pesticides in their fat cells. So one of the many reasons I don't eat animal products. But my rule is any animal product, meat, butter, cheese, yogurt, eggs, ice cream, any dairy products, I recommend organic only or don't eat them. And it's not hard. And what's happening is years ago, when I was a trendsetter or a freak, I'm not sure which one it was, but 30 some odd years ago, to eat plant-based diet was difficult. Everything was salad. Everywhere you went, I'll have a salad. Now, go to any restaurant, and you're probably going to find, almost always, I think I found one restaurant in the past 32 years that even had one too, but it was an all-you-can-eat place, and the only thing they had was lettuce and tomatoes, and it was like $21. And at the time, that was a lot of money several years ago. And I said, I'm not going to spend $21 when everybody else is eating chicken and fried livers. It was a family-style Southern restaurant. But there's always something you can eat. I promise you. I've never missed a meal. So years ago, eating plant-based was a little more challenging. Now, it's extremely easy. You can go to any restaurant. Most of them have a plant-based choice. If not, you can create a plant-based choice. So what does that mean? Let's assume we go to a steakhouse. You and I are going to go out on a date. And we're going to go out to a steakhouse. And there's only steak. And there's lobsters. And there's fish. And I don't know what to eat. Look at the side items. How about a potato? Now, I just told you, potatoes are one of the dirty dozen. However, it still would be better, in my opinion, than eating the steak. So you can do potatoes, broccoli, mushrooms, cauliflower, sauteed onions, salad. So there's always something you can put together. And sometimes you got to get a little creative to eat the best foods. So dirty dozen, clean 15 in a perfect world. You'd eat organic anyway. It wouldn't matter. But if you have to choose of the dirty dozen, those should be the ones you try to choose organic. That's the message I'm trying to get across here. So let's talk about surprising reasons why organic is better for you. Not just the pesticides. I had to get that out of the way because that's, we're going to talk about pesticides. And my background is I'm a chiropractor. I'm board certified chiropractic, orthopedics, pain management, double board certified in nutrition, BS in nutrition, a retired dietitian. My radio show is the #1 health and wellness radio broadcast in the country. And so people come to me all the time with nutritional advice. They're wanting nutritional advice, and I can't go anywhere. I went to my eye doctor the other day, and as I'm checking out, two of the secretaries come up and say, you can't leave without answering our questions. I said, okay, and I answered the questions for him. But the chemicals that we're talking about here with pesticides or any genetically modified foods can have an adverse effect on the nervous system. Now, as a chiropractor, my job is to make sure the message is getting from your brain, down your spine, out to your body, and back up uninterrupted. Two things can interrupt the messages, chemical or physical. Now, chemical would be food, drugs, alcohol, environmental toxins. That's what we're talking about here. So chemically, you have control over that in some cases. You can't control the fact you're stuck in traffic and there's pollutants in the air. Had a patient yesterday who came in and just stunk to high heaven with perfume. And I always keep the door closed. I like privacy with my patients. And I had to leave the door open. I couldn't breathe. And then one of my secretaries went in to talk about her insurance coverage, and she's pregnant. And she walked in and walked out. She goes, oh, my God, I think I'm going to puke. So there are certain environmental chemicals you can't avoid. There are some that you can. Physically, as if a bone moves out of place, you might pinch a nerve. Now, if you pinch a nerve, it hurts. But 90% of your nerves don't feel pain. Let me say that again. 90% of your nerves don't feel pain. You don't feel your blood pressure. It's controlled by nerves. You don't feel your kidneys, your spleen, your thyroid, your ovaries, your toenails, your earwax. So in our offices, we check the nerves that feel pain and we check the nerves that don't feel pain. Because if we do decide to take you on as a patient, our goal is not get you out of pain. Our goal is to get you well. We don't want to just get you out of pain. We want to fix everything we can. And then we do a nutrition workup on all our patients because we want to make sure that you're getting the right nutrition in, because what's going to happen? You're going to heal faster. You heal faster, you save money, makes us look good. Biggest problem I've ever had with patients in all the years I've been in practice is they don't follow my treatment plans or my doctor's treatment plans. And then they say, well, I went there twice, it didn't help. Well, I tried eating right for a day, I didn't lose weight. Well, it's kind of silly statements. You got to do the whole treatment plan in order to give a good judgment there. So when it comes to food, you have decisions on what you want to put in your body. And we want to try to avoid the pesticides for that reason. If you're doing organic, you totally avoid the pesticides. Let's talk a little bit more. Oh, you know what? I got to cover this too. I told you that you're going to save a lot of money if you eat well. So even if you're buying the absolute, positively most expensive organic lettuce there is, let's say, you can buy a tub of lettuce that I can make 5 or 6 salads out of for about $4, organic. You can't get a half a pound of meat for $4. And I'm thinking, but Dr. Joe, I like my ribs. I did too. I can confess I still miss meatball sandwiches. I miss double beef cheese hamburgers. But if you knew what I knew, you would do what I do. I promise you. And when you do it, you'll say, like all my other patients, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I wait so long and suffer so long? Chiropractically, headaches, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, every day. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle. I can walk. I feel so much better. You guys are great. And then nutritionally, you'll make the same statement. Why didn't I do this sooner? And my answer to you is, I don't know. Probably didn't listen to my shows yet. That's why. Now you're listening. Now you have no excuse. So changing your diet is easy. Going to more plant-based diet is what I recommend, of course. And I want you to have something raw at every meal. Now, I say raw, broccoli, cucumbers, tomatoes, avocados, a salad, because raw food has something in it called enzymes. And enzymes help to detoxify your body, along with helping heal the body, fight inflammation. The reason you're alive is because of enzymes. You're nothing but a sack of chemicals. That's all you are. So what makes that sack of chemicals a living being? Enzymes come in and they activate those chemicals and they start interacting with each other, and that's why you're alive. So the enzyme levels are so important to your body's function and healing. And when you're young, the enzyme levels are very high. And as you get older, the enzyme levels drop dramatically. It's called aging. Well, we don't want to age, right? We want to stay young forever. I want to live forever, like the song. Right? Was that Flashdance, right? No. Was it Flashdance? I can't remember. But you do want to live a long, happy, healthy life and try to look young. Easy way to do that is increase your enzyme levels. So that's not hard. So if you're eating a healthy diet of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, you're going to save so much money on your food bill anyway that even if you bought the most expensive organic foods in the world, you're still going to have a ton of money left at the end of the week. And everyone tells me that. I can't believe how much money I have left over. Dr. Joe, I'm saving so much money. This is great. So it really, and you're going to probably live longer too. All right. So, folks, if you want to become a patient to see us, we have offices in the Atlanta area, Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. We would love the opportunity. My team of doctors would love the opportunity to meet with you and hopefully accept you as a patient and let you become one of our patients, and we'll work with you. So if you want to make an appointment, you can go to my website, drjoe.com, and you can book it right there online. It's real simple. It's all over the website. Make an appointment. If you have questions, give us a call. It's very simple. You can call us right from the website. You can book the appointment right online if you wanted to. But stop suffering needlessly. So many people are suffering needlessly, and they're miserable. And when they do finally get better, they're very happy. So if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, the classic chiropractic things you think about, come see us. But we do a lot of work with digestive issues, acid reflux, heartburn, burping, gas, bloating. Many times the stomach is pushed up against the diaphragm. We need to pull it back down. So digestive issues, we see a lot of patients with that. And I have to say this every show. If you've ever been in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. You are not tougher than solid steel. So if steel or plastic or whatever your car is made out of is damaged, you're damaged too. Get to us as soon as possible. Now, if it was 50 years ago, don't wait to 51 years. If it was yesterday, get in. So again, make an appointment, Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge in Atlanta area, drjoe.com. We'd love to work with you. And we accept most insurances. If you don't have insurance or it doesn't cover, we work with you as well. We want to do everything we can to get you well and keep you well. So, surprising reasons why organic is better than you. Now, you find yourself, you're looking at the labels. I used to have a little stand here for my notes. I have to jimmy rig it here. There we go. Okay. You find yourself eyeing up an organic label, and you think, is it worth it? Okay. According to a huge study in the British Journal of Nutrition, it is. So there's the bottom line. It is. With the study offered more proof that organic is the best choice. I want to share some of those reasons with you, aside from the pesticides. More antioxidants. Now, what's an antioxidant? Toxins, waste products, poisons, they create something called free radicals. And you produce them too. Even if you're eating an organically grown raw fruit and vegetable diet and you're getting chiropractic care every day and you have no stress, your body's still producing free radicals. Now, free radicals are like Pac-Man. Remember Pac-Man? Waka, 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 waka. It eats through things. And so free radicals will eat through your cells. They'll damage your nerve tissue. It'll damage your brain. And so antioxidants fight the free radicals, and they kind of fill up their mouths so they don't do any more damage. Keeping it simple for you. Imagine Pac-Man getting his mouth filled up. So more antioxidants in organic foods. Organic fruits and vegetables contain 20 to 40% more antioxidants compared to chemically grown counterparts. So right there, 20 to 40% increase in a bang for your buck as far as nutrition goes. So if the price isn't going to be 20 to 40% more, so right there, you're saving money. Eating only organic food is the equivalent of eating an extra serving of fruits and vegetables a day without eating more food. So you're going to get a lot more. Now, you always say that eating fruits and vegetables is important. I make my diet consist mostly of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. A little grain here and there, but grains convert into sugar. So rice and even quinoa, which is higher protein, lower sugar. So I limit my grain intake. And I'm much older than, first of all, than I look. But second of all, I'm maybe 2, sometimes 3 times as old as some of the employees that I have. 2.5, let's say. I run circles around them. Dr. Joe, where do you get your energy from? How does your brain work the way it does? When I do live shows, I take questions, and I don't know what the question's going to be. It's like, how do you do that? My brain is no better than yours. In fact, it's probably a lot worse. I grew up in Hoboken, New Jersey, and in the 60s, and I got in street fights and played football and hockey, and so my brain is probably more damaged than yours. But the thing is, it's not that your brain has to be super wonderful. It just has to not be damaged. And if it is damaged, what can you do to make it work better? You got to tune it up. Chiropractically, we put the bones back in place. I've been getting chiropractic care since I was 18. Put the bones back in place, take the pressure off the nerves, take the pressure off the blood vessels. The joints don't wear out if they're not misaligned. And if they did wear out, it's because they're misaligned. I take a good plant-based diet. I really make sure my antioxidant level is very high every day. In fact, I created something called Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Now, these are two powders. I take a scoop of them every day. In fact, I have them here at the studio with me. And it's the equivalent of about five, it depends on what study you read, 5 to 10 servings of raw fruits and vegetables. Raw, enzymes are still there. Then we add prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, a complete multivitamin. The Super Greens alkalize the system. They give you omega-3 fatty acids. So I've created a whole line of supplements. And what I do is I've been watching my patients for 33 years. What are the main supplements that people need? And I've put them now in a line called Dr. Joe's Nutritional Line. And those are on my website, by the way, drjoe.com. Also available on Amazon. If you want to have an Amazon account, you can order them there. But the minimum amount of nutrients would be Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Those things rock. And I don't know, it's so great because everywhere I go, people don't know my face as much as they know my voice, but they'll recognize my voice, say, Dr. Joe, I've been taking your Super Greens and Essential Source, and they fill in a blank. My love life is better. I sleep better. I go to the bathroom better. I have more energy. I'm losing weight. It's like a miracle cure, but it's not. All it is what your body needs to function normally, and most people don't even get the minimum amount of nutrients that you need. So organic, more antioxidants. Concentrated things like Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, also a high concentration of antioxidants along with a gazillion other things. But at least take those, folks. That's the minimum. More benefits of organic. Lower poisonous metal levels. In my office, we do something called a hair analysis. We'll take a little bit of hair, and we can take it from anywhere in the body, and it's just a little bit. It's not much. And we send it into a lab. We do an analysis, and the reason we do that analysis is to determine if you have heavy metal toxicity. And that's one of the things. And do you have the right nutrients in your body? And we can determine objectively what's missing. And I am blown away how many people have high mercury content or lead content or cadmium content. And there is no biological need for these heavy metals in the body. And what they do is they clog up the works. It's essentially, I'll keep it simple here, it's like sticking a wrench into electrical socket. Zzz, it's going to short circuit things. Mercury. Now, some people can detoxify mercury and some people can't. And if you can't detoxify the mercury has a tendency to build up in the body, and it can cause some real serious problems. So organic food is up to 48% lower in cadmium. We just talked about that. That's found in fertilizers. And it's also linked to things like breast cancer and kidney stones. So let's assume you're perfectly healthy and you're taking in foods that are non-organic. Okay, I can handle that. If you're sick, if you have cancer, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney stones, gallstones, all the more reason why you should be avoiding conventional foods and going to more organic. More healthy plant compounds. Plants exposed to pesticides produce fewer natural defenses. And let me give you an example of this. You may have heard that red wine is good for your heart, right? It's not the red wine that's good for your heart. It's the red that's good for your heart. It's the grapes, not the wine. Why isn't white wine good for your heart? Why isn't vodka, beer, I don't know, why is that good for you? It's the red grapes that are high in proanthocyanidins and antioxidants, which help tremendously with the body healing. And so that's important. And so if you're going to do red wine, it also has something in it called resveratrol. Now, resveratrol has been shown to actually help reverse the aging process. Yes, it really works. Now, the problem is this. If you're going to drink wine, it has to be organic wine because the grapes produce resveratrol when they're exposed to fungus. If you spray a fungicide on the grapes don't have to produce the resveratrol because they're not going to be exposed to fungus, which means you're not getting any resveratrol in your wine. Follow that? Okay. So when we're exposed to pesticides and fungicides and things like that, they don't produce as many of the natural compounds that keep them alive. Number two, you have to drink about a half a case a day to get some benefits. Folks, got to go to a break. If you have a healthcare question, go to my website, drjoe.com. I'm more than happy to answer your questions for you. If you want to make an appointment to come see us, again, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge in the Atlanta area. And if you're watching around the country, around the world, maybe we can help find you a chiropractor in your area. If you want to get Dr. Joe Super Greens, Essential Source, we've got adrenal support. Most of us need adrenal support. We've got a ton of other supplements. Those are on the website as well, drjoe.com. My books are there. My podcasts are there. If you want to listen to more shows, drjoe.com or on Amazon. I'm Dr. Joe. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening to For the Health Fit. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well. You can also listen to and call into my radio show live Sunday evenings from 7 to 9 Eastern Time on WSBRadio.com and on a WSB Radio app.